Why don't you run, human? His answer froze her blood. The battlefield was silent. Ash fell like snow from a sky blackened with smoke. Twisted metal groaned under the weight of destruction, and plasma fires still hissed in the distance. The wreckage of a once mighty alien battalion lay scattered across the valley. Burned-out walkers, crushed skimmers, the cracked hulls of grav tanks glowing with residual heat. And in the center of it all stood a human. Not running, not hiding, just standing. Tal Shera of the Drakari swarm advanced on him with her talons unsheathed, her chitinous armor glistening with the blood of his comrades. She towered over him, 9 feet of organic steel, bred for war over 1,000 generations. Her second set of eyes clicked open, scanning for biological signs of fear. None. Just calm. Too calm. She sneered. Why don't you run, human? His head turned slowly. His uniform was torn, face streaked with soot, and blood soaked one of his sleeves. He looked like a man who should have been begging for mercy. But instead, he smiled and spoke. I'm just waiting. Tal Shera stiffened. Waiting? For what? Reinforcements? They're all dead. The human cocked his head. Not them. You. She paused. Something in his tone. It wasn't arrogance. It wasn't bluff. It was inevitability, as if he was reading a script she hadn't seen. You should have run when you had the chance, he continued softly. But you wanted to play predator. She growled, stepping closer. I am the predator, human. You are prey. Your kind is meat. Our kind is nature's solution to weakness. He didn't flinch. You mistake restraint for weakness. A low warning pulse vibrated from the comm node behind her ear. Biomonitors flashed. Something wasn't right. This human was wounded, exhausted, and yet his pulse was even, stress levels near baseline. She'd interrogated hundreds of sentients. She'd never seen one like him. I know what you are, she said coldly. Earth's little monsters, born of a death world. But your species is scattered, dying. You can't win this war. We already have, he said. Tal Shera snapped her mandibles. Explain. The human stepped forward. Because you don't understand what war means to us. You think it's territory, resources, power. For humans, war is memory. It's the sharpening stone of civilization. You burn our cities, we build new ones on your bones. You kill our children, and they become our reason to fight. You think fear breaks us? It fuels us. Her thermal sensors flared red. His body was heating, metabolism spiking. Not stress. Readiness. Why didn't you run, human? She repeated, more softly. His eyes met hers, so calm, so still. And he said, because I wanted you close. Then the ground beneath her exploded. Tal Shera was thrown backwards as a cascade of fire erupted from a buried charge. Shrapnel bit into her carapace. Systems screamed warnings, and from the smoke came a dozen shadowy figures, humans in adaptive combat suits, rising from the dirt like ghosts. They were never dead. They were waiting. She tried to stand, but something locked around her throat. A shock knife dug into her shoulder joint, and a voice, his voice, whispered at her side. We are not soldiers, Tal Shera. We are apex survivors. And this is the reckoning. 18 hours earlier, Colonel James Mercer watched the holographic map flicker with red. All units lost? He asked. The AI nodded. Tango Squad, Bravo, Echo, confirmed destroyed or presumed captured. He looked at the others around the table, battle-hardened, grim-eyed humans whose families now lay buried under Drakari orbital strikes. They're not going to stop, whispered one. They don't need to, James said. They think they've already won. He turned to the tactical officer. You said the Drakari Swarm Queen will be leading the next purge herself? Yes, sir. Coming in 2 days. Believes this region is the last resistance pocket. James smiled grimly. Then we make this region her tomb. The plan was madness. Suicidal even. But so was history's every last human stand, from Thermopylae to Stalingrad. He knew one thing. When humanity was pushed to extinction, that's when it became divine. They'd leave bodies behind, and behind those, vengeance. Back on the battlefield, Tal Shera was dragged to her knees. Her limbs twitched, systems offline. She could hear the human command chatter. Calm, Coordinated. She looked up at Mercer. How? He crouched beside her. We studied you. Every tactic, every weakness. You chased victory like a predator, immediate, hungry. But we baited you with false kills, buried ourselves under bodies, synced our vitals to mimic death, and you walked right into it. Talshera hissed. You're monsters. Mercer tilted his head. No, you are. We're what monsters fear. The sound of orbit-to-ground artillery echoed above. Human ships, just now decloaking in the upper stratosphere. Reinforcements. Real this time. The trap had bought them time to summon Earth's war fleet. The sky burned with descending human dreadnoughts. Your swarm, Mercer said, rising. It dies today. Aboard the Drakari flagship. General Vorak was watching the feed from Talshera's helmet when it went black. Then the orbital scanners began to scream. Unidentified vessels emerging from stealth. Human. A lot of them. He stood frozen as the stars filled with Earth's revenge. Then came a transmission. Just audio. One phrase looping across every Drakari channel. In every tone. Why don't you run? And it was not a question. It was a warning. Aftermath. Galactic broadcast. The footage went viral across every major network. A human, surrounded by Drakari corpses. Their queen, Talshera, on her knees. Ships raining from orbit. The line that sent chills across millions of species. I'm not running. I'm waiting for you. The council met in emergency session. Panic swept through systems that once mocked humanity as primitive. Treaties were rewritten. Alliances shifted overnight. The message was clear. Humans don't run. They endure. They hunt back. Epilogue. On a quiet Earth hilltop, Colonel Mercer stood alone, looking up at a rebuilt memorial wall. Names of the fallen etched in steel. Not forgotten. Behind him, children played in safety under a sky no longer afraid. He closed his eyes. In his ear, the voice of Talshera still echoed from the moment before she died. I should have run. He had answered simply, yes.